Hey everybody, this is Robert with Chapel Hill Training, and I am bringing you a video series on meal prepping. In this series, we're going to cover everything from start to finish. Today, we're going to go over the table of contents and give you an overview of what's going to be coming in the future. So first, we're going to start with the objectives, and the objectives are why we're doing what we're doing. And I like the term optimal wellness to put an umbrella over a lot of things. So when we look at the objectives, when we're in the pursuit of health and fitness, there's going to be some health objectives that we have. There's going to be performance objectives, and there's going to be aesthetic objectives. And everyone I've met has a goal in at least one of these areas. Sometimes there's people that have goals in every area. Whatever the case is, I've came up with a list of particular objectives for each area, and these act as like parameters, and they also act as ways to assess where we're going. It gives us a full picture. And when we reach these parameters, where we're in a place where we're reaching them and we're maintaining them, I call that optimal wellness. And that's the overall goal of everything that I do. Anytime I work with somebody, my goal is to help them reach a state that I call optimal wellness, to reach it and to maintain it and learn the skills that maintain it, because you might not have me working with you forever. So optimal wellness, we're going to go into that the next video. And then we're going to look at the different systems. So to be able to accomplish these objectives, we need to have some kind of thing we do, some action we take in the world. So there's three different systems that I've developed called wellness, nutrition, and exercise. And these three systems, are going to be the systems that we use to interface with these objectives. Now, I'm going to be covering nutrition in this particular video series. There's a lot to say on wellness and there's a lot to say on exercise, but this series is based on nutrition. So we're going to go into detail on the nutrition system. So looking at the nutrition system, first thing we're going to do here is look at the nutrient-dense meal anatomy. So this is going to break down what a nutrient-dense meal actually looks like. And it's going to give you a track to run on, so to speak. It's going to give you a visual guide of, okay, this is the way my eating needs to look over a period of time. This is what I'm working towards. And then we're going to break that down step by step. Then we're going to look at planning. Planning, and this is where a lot of meal prep, that whole topic will really come into play. We're going to look at planning. We're going to looking at the year. So one thing I like to do is look at the entire year and use that as a backdrop for everything I do when it comes to health, fitness, nutrition. Look at the whole year. So I'm going to teach you a strategy for looking at the year, then for breaking the year up into quarters, then looking at the month, then the week, then the day. And I'll teach you a very simple strategy to be able to look at these different time frames to build yourself a successful strategy for your nutrition. Then we're going to look at the actual action of meal prepping. So with meal prepping, there's really two strategies. You can outsource it, and I'm going to go into detail on this. Outsourcing has become a really popular topic now. There's tons of companies available, a lot of things you don't know about that will make you food, bring food to you, teach you how to cook food. Tons of these companies, they're sourced pretty well. So what I'm going to do is give you some examples of these places, give you some resources, so if you want to experiment with them, you can. This could be a great strategy. And then we're going to also look at self-prep. And in this one, I'm going to just take you through the process. I'm going to take you through the kitchen, how you need to set your kitchen up, what equipment you need, what grocery lists you need, like all these different components that go into actually preparing your food. What different strategies can you use? Do you cook it all in one day? Do you cook it some this day, some that day? I'm going to go into different strategies that I found very helpful, and I'm also going to provide you a lot of resources. I think that learning how to cook your food, having some skills in the kitchen, one of the most important skills you can have. You got to think about this. You have one body in your life, and a lot of us take that for granted, but we have one body, and being able to go out there, find ourselves some high quality food, and know how to prepare it, know how to put it together in a way that's sustainable. I think that's really valuable. I think that's an act of really high self-esteem, and I think it's really important. A lot of us have gotten into traps where it's like, oh well, food is just inconvenient. But I think on some level we need to understand that our bodies are very valuable, and what the food we put in our body is very important. So I think taking some time and learning how to cook, learning the process, I think that's very valuable, and I think that's something that you'll be able to have for yourself, something you can share with other people. You can make family members food, you make children food, you can share it and pass it forward. So I think that's a very important thing to learn. So I'm going to cover that in detail as well. And yeah, so I think that covers it for this particular video. In the next video, we'll go into the objectives and go into some of the systems. I look forward to sharing everything I can with you guys. And thanks for watching.